everyone, and this is Erin. Welcome to my page. I'm going to be doing a little review today on the Born Pretty color buttons. I have seen maybe one or two reviews of these before, but not a lot of people were really utilizing them, so I kind of just wanted to check them out for myself and take a gander to see actually how well they work and how well they stick. Now, I currently hold my gel polishes doubled up in a drawer. So this is a clear container that I have where I am storing my gel polishes. This is literally what I get when I pull them out of the drawer when a client has already selected their color. Now, Gelish has now started doing their bottles like this where you can actually see the color from above. However, IBD and some of the other brands that I use, you cannot see the color whatsoever. If you are that familiar with your collection, you're going to be able to know what the name off the top. Just by grabbing it and seeing it and knowing what color it is. Some of the windows are really hard to see. But for the most part, this is what it is, and it's really difficult for me to see, so I wanted to give these buttons a whirl to see if they are really effective. So I know people were kind of talking about how Born Pretty products come from China, so they do take quite some time to come in. I believe they say it's 4 to 6 weeks off the top of my head. I would more or less double that, maybe even a pinch longer. It has to go through different borders and customs in order to even get here. We're talking at least 8 to 10 weeks. Some people would like their products a lot sooner than that, but I see if you're going to get some art products that maybe are not a rush, maybe just a refill or something, maybe double up your order. It might be a little more effective that way. So what I'm going to do is, instead of picking these all off and putting them on the tops, which is just silly, I'm just going to paint all of these buttons, and I will come right back to you once I go ahead and paint them all. I also just wanted to add that the texture itself is kind of like a rubbery texture. So I'm hoping that it grabs the gel polish and that it actually lasts a long time. So for the time being, I'm just going to do one for us to take a look at. Let's do this one nice and bright so you can see the color pretty good being applied. So let's go ahead and just do this guy here. Now, it might be a little tiny bit of a downfall that maybe these are white, a stark white. It might wash out your color, so you might have to consider doing maybe a coat or two. Some people would consider that a waste of product. Really, I don't think it's that bad. I feel it's worth it, in my personal opinion. So let's go ahead. Hopefully I didn't overpaint the line so it doesn't cure the button right on to the backing that it's on. Let's see here. Try and make it as neat as possible. Anyway, I'm going to give this a little cure. It is a little wonky on the side, but I think that's actually exceeding the little button, so I'm going to give that a cure. Okay, so it is now all cured, ready to go. So you could either just take the tacky layer off. Sometimes I do notice that it does mattify the color a little bit, so it might take away from the actual finish of the color that maybe you're trying to achieve. Just for the sake of the video, I'm just going to apply a top coat. This one specifically is the Accents Shine On. Love it, can't go wrong with it. So I'm just going to pop a little wee bit of that on, cure it. Okay, while I was just about putting this on, I had a little incident where the swatch itself came right off the button. See that there? That might be an error on my part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one more button, and I might even just consider texturizing the top a little bit as we would the natural nail so that the product can adhere better. Because these buttons are quite smooth, that might be my issue. So I'm gonna give that a whirl, and I will see if the product's gonna stick. All right. So let's give this a little buff. I hope that made it textured enough. They're quite a firm rubber, so I'm really hoping that worked. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a wipe here. Okay, let's give this another whirl. Now let's do a nice thin coat here. So yeah, as I was mentioning before, because these are a stark white, you might have to do a couple layers. But with my other swatches that I had on the little rounds, I had to do the same amount of swatches anyway, especially if some of them are clear. I think some of the wheels come in this kind of shade anyway, so. Okay, let's cure that. Alrighty, here's my swatch. I am gonna do a clear coat rather than just wiping the dispersion layer off. I just don't want it to change the finish. I want my client to be able to see what it would like with a shiny top coat, and I know that using a wipe, taking it off specifically for the brand that I use, this current color is Gelish. I know that it's going to mattify a little bit when I do that. So I'm just going to cure this after my top coat here. Okay, that is all cured. So hopefully this doesn't come off. Maybe I put the product too thick last time. We will see. So let's go ahead and pop it off. They're pretty sticky, so that's a good sign. And, oh, it stuck to my glove. Okay, let's pop that on. Press firmly. Okay, that actually looks really cute. I don't really mind that at all. My only concern is because I'm so rough when I'm putting my bottles back, because usually I'm in a hurry. My only concern is when I'm putting something back and I'm like, you know, kind of ramming it in there, that I'm gonna pop one of these off. But for the most part, they seem pretty solid on there. I don't know, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty solid on there. So I'm hoping that stays. And it looks really cute. So it will make finding my gel polishes so much easier. So I definitely do think it is worth it to give these a whirl. They are on sale right now, 47% off. I just checked their website. It's $1.59 American per 25 pack. If you have a lot, you might think that it can get a little costly, but I have not found them any cheaper than Born Pretty. Even with shipping and if possibility of customs, I still feel this is the best value. They are a really good size. I mean, they covered pretty good, and they are flexible enough that they should fit most tops of the bottles. The only thing I think you will have issues is you had a textured top. That might give you a little bit of a problem. My solution for that is, if you are going to go to the button way, is this bottle might be a little jacked up for you to see, but I really like this E6000 glue. This will literally fill in your little gaps underneath the button, and you should be able to pop it on. So even if this does pop off, I still think it's worth it, and I will even just throw a little of this glue on and pop the button back on. I think it's so worth it. They are a good price. You really can't go wrong, especially if you do run with gel bottles that are really well packaged, so you don't really cure the product on the inside. You can't really see anything. I think it's really worth it. But for $1.59 American, I think it's worth getting them all for all of your bottles, so it's easier to access that way. So yeah, definitely check out their Instagram page. Once again, it's on the back here, at Born Pretty Store. And on their Instagram, they do have a few art features, things that are coming out, things that are new. I do think it is worth to take a gander. So yeah, that's it. The color buttons, I will be purchasing probably a couple more of these, as I have a couple of these trays to go ahead and fill. I'll even do these ones, even though I can kind of see them from the top. I just want it all to be consistent, look the same. So yeah, that's my recommendation. I give it a thumbs up, even though that shipping does take a while. I think it's worth it for the price. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me.